Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Gimpy. I'm here with the last part of turn 3 of Heroes Against the Red Star and the counterattack scenario. Just to address a couple things that people had mentioned, I did miss that a weapon team had rolled for out of ammo, so I'm marking those guys with their out of ammo marker right over here, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. Someone did ask why my M1 up here did not op fire at the enemy tank when it came around the building. I play it to where if they're not in the arc of fire when they come around, then they don't get the chance to op fire. I was doing the same thing with the enemies over here earlier in the turn, so if I don't let them op fire, I'm not going to op fire on them. So I think that catches us up to it. I did switch out the deck to an offensive deck using the offensive cards, and I flipped over all the player aids to their offense side because the last remaining American troops are down here on Hill 121, and there's one guy over there just waiting to die and a shaken weapon team. But I wasn't going to be pushing forward against them anymore, and they would just spend the rest of the turns kind of popping shots off at me and not advancing towards the objective. So this way cards will come up that will tell them to move in my direction and do their off-board artillery and all that stuff. So it is my turn in the scenario. I am going to take and use my off-board artillery to take and fire down here up into the town in hopes of hitting something. It's pretty much my only chance to hold them off for any length of time. Now, an off-board artillery will take and hit a hex, and then it affects all the hex around it. And mine has a firepower of 8, so it can do a fair amount of damage if I get it in the right spot, right? Now, I was looking at this before I started the camera, and I have a line of sight that if I draw it right up here, it cuts on the side of this tree, and then on the side of this abandoned vehicle right up here, and I'm either thinking this hex or this hex. The only problem is if it shifts to somewhere that I don't have line of sight, then I lose the ability to fire. I basically lose the impulse, and there's going to be a drift and all that stuff. Basically, you roll the 2 dice. One is for how far it goes, and then one is for what direction it goes. And if it happens to pop behind a building or somewhere where my guy can't see it, then I've wasted my impulse. So I got to try to pick the right spot to where it'll have the most impact. And I don't know. If I get it up here and it drifts one, okay, we're gonna try here. Well, I'm trying to shoot it so I don't get the negative from this, because that adds to the drift if I do that, but I might have to just take the drift hit anyway just to try to put it here so it's closer to hitting their guys. My hope is that it drifts one in one of these directions and hits at least 2 or 3 of these stacks over here. But if it drifts back this way, then pretty much the only thing it's going to hit is an abandoned vehicle and some shaken crew, which isn't going to do me a whole lot of good. So I don't know, it just depends on where this I really can't do anything for the drift. All right, my best bet. All right, I'm going for this hex here because it's the no obstacles. Yeah, the least amount of drift is going to be here, and my hope is that it'll drift 1 right here. I do get to subtract my leadership modifier, which is 1. So whatever the white die comes up as, all right, the red die is going to be what direction? It's going to be north is the upper hex, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on around on which direction it goes. That's the red die. The white die is how far it goes in that direction, and you divide it by 2 and you subtract your leadership modifier, but you add any degrading terrain to it. So skirting it right there, I can take and miss the degrading terrain and possibly have it come up if I roll a 1 on this, or yeah, if it divided in half, subtract my, yeah, a 2 would get me no drift whatsoever. A 3 would get me 1, 4, 2, and so on with the modifiers that I have. You guys will see that in action here in just a sec. So let's take and put my fire for effect marker here, because that's where I am calling in the artillery. I'll pan it over and zoom in for you guys so you guys can see it. All right, so this is where I'm going. And I'm hoping, like I said, that it hits here. That way I'm hitting a whole bunch of their units with one hit, and any of their units that would move into it would get hit by it as well. So let me see, is there a place I can put this so you guys can see it? Not really. Nope, not there. What about right here? Yeah, that you guys should be able to see on what the roll is. Okay, and again, north is that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the red die. Let's take and see what I get here. Ooh, that's not very good. Well, it did drift in the direction that I want, but I think it might go too far. Okay, I still have to have a line of sight to it. Now, it's going to go that direction and divide it in half, subtract my leadership, makes it 1. Okay, so that's not too bad. It hits right there. So I'm hitting a couple of their stacks. I'm hitting their armored vehicle here, their anti-aircraft ZSU whatever thingy, and their stack of guys. So it could have been worse. I would have liked it one more to the left, but I'm not going to complain on that, on where it hit. Now it hits with a firepower of 8, and against an armored vehicle like this is, that means that it adds its armor value, and then its terrain modifier. Yep, it's going to add its terrain modifier for him. That is going to be light woods. Let's see what light woods are. Where's my little chart here? Okay, light woods are going to be just +1 on its target modifier, so that's not too bad. And its armor value, and I am working on new graphics. I've had a friend helping me out, and I've been learning how to do it, so I shouldn't have to hold up the counters anymore. I should be able to just put that on screen for you guys now. So its armor value, its lowest armor value is what you use. Its lowest armor value is 1. It doesn't matter, it's 1 all the way around. So that's 1, and these guys are in a heavy building, so they're going to have a good terrain modifier. What is the heavy building for these guys? That's a +4 target modifier, so they're going to be helped out pretty well. All right, so we're going to take and roll off on it. The red dice is going to be his modifiers. We're starting with the armored fighting vehicle. He's getting a +2, 1 for his armor, 1 for the terrain, and I'm getting a +8 versus my white die. And now you're going to handle this just like you would small arms fire against a armored vehicle. You're going to take and roll on your damage table once you've got a difference. All right, opposed die roll. So let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so he came up with a 7, and I came up with a 13. Is that 13? What did I get? Yeah, 13. My bad math there. All right, so the difference is 5, so they're going to be rolling on the damage table, and we've got armored fighting, armored vehicle. We're going to take and roll on him to see what he's going to get, and it's 5 versus his morale of 6. So let's take and see what he gets here. Well, let me roll that in there. 1. Okay, not good. They end up getting, say, 5 plus that is 6, so it equals that. There's no effect. No effect. And I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think when you do a damage check off of vehicles that it doesn't count for a hero generation. I think that's just infantry. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't want to deal with digging up in the rule book, so I'm going to make a judgment call that it Doesn't count on the vehicle. If I'm wrong on that one, I'm wrong on it. We'll just deal with that later because of the one that I rolled on the damage check. Well, that is unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to take and do our damage check for this stack of infantry here with the Russian political officer. They're going to have a +4 on their red die, and I'm going to have a +8 on mine, and then again will be a damage check. Well, I'm rolling good, but so are they. Oh man, okay, so I got a 14, they got a 9, which difference of 5. So we're going to take and do a damage check on them. We will start with the leader to see if his leadership modifier does get to be, well, his actual leadership value is a 0, so it wouldn't matter anyway for them. Let's see, good order, single man counter, here we go. It's been a while since I shot at any infantry. Had to look where I was going with it. Okay, his morale is a 6, so pretty much a 1. Anything above that's going to wound that little SAD. Okay, so we got 5 plus that's 8, so that does wound him. We'll take and flip him over to his wounded side. We'll take and roll on our next guys. They're not going to have any bonus from the leader, and it wouldn't matter anyway since his leadership is 0. Now 5, well, these guys are going to be shaken at a minimum because I'm hitting them with a 5 and their morale is 5, so even a 1 is going to shake them. But I don't think I can get greater. Oh no, a 6 will cause them to be take casualties instead of shaking. So let's see what happens with them. 2, so these guys are going to shake. We'll flip them over. They've got that counter, and we have another one there. Okay, and last guy, and that is equal to 2 times his morale. Okay, they actually, yeah, they're going to take casualties. So let's take and switch them out real quick for a different counter, one of the little casualties. And like I said, I'm going to take and try to do my graphics on this instead. So we'll take and do that, and now we go. There we go. We've got some casualties and some shaken units, but unfortunately we didn't take out the armored fighting vehicle like I was hoping to do. But at least I won't have to worry about them taking and calling down any fire on top of me from him, but they still do have other leaders available. Okay, let's see if we draw one of our new cards, and it's not, it's going to be execute counteractions. Execute counteractions is different now though because of our changing that to the other side. Let me grab my counteraction. Okay, so we're on our offensive side now. There's none off the map. There is no good order weapon team now to worry about. Good order vehicles with line of sight. Well, let's see here. They have, technically he's still good order, but he can't move because if he moves, he takes another hit. He's rolling again, and he got lucky to have no effect there, but he could fire, and he can hit these guys. So let's see, is there any other? He's already fired. I got one tank left there in the back too. Let's see. Vehicles, yes, fire at closest player unit in line of sight or change covered arc and fire. Okay, so he is going to take and fire. But you have to think about this little mark, the fire for effect marker, as putting an effect all the way around it, which means that he's going to take and have a degrading shot already. So it's going to be a +1 on his ordnance fire table against, the only thing he can see is my group of infantry right here, and they're in heavy woods. What's the modifier for heavy woods? Heavy woods. Where is it at on here? +2, so that's not too bad. Let's take and see what his fire is. Alright, range is 10. I'll hold it up just in case I don't find the thing for it. That's his counter, so range 10, 20. He's going to be a range 20. And it's going to be 9 or better. And he's going to be hitting with his HE. And it's 3 times his HE. So, yeah. He gets to attack 3 times. Ooh, that's bad against infantry. Yeah, he's going to definitely do that. He'll just fire from where he's at. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 12 away, so it means 9 or better to take and hit. Yeah, 9 or under, excuse me. And degrading of 1, so he's got to roll 7 or under. Take and do it. Let's take and put him back down there. Put that back on him, and I'll grab my little chart here and see if there's any other ordnance modifiers for him. Vehicle is open, so he's getting a -1 on that, which is just going to cancel out the +1 that he's getting here, so we'll just take and wipe that. He's not outside the arc. These guys haven't moved. Per hex of degrading terrain, which I've already added because of the fire for effect. It's not a weapon team, not a vehicle, he's not using assault movement. AA unit fire, he's not firing at airplane. It's not during a night scenario. Oh wait, he can't see him. Okay, well these guys got marked with an ops complete. Where's my ops complete? But that doesn't make them spotted, I don't believe. I need to remember off the top of my head real quick. Let me look on my little charts here, because I think he's going to have to actually attempt to spot instead, which for him would probably be pretty difficult at this time. And sorry if you guys can hear my neighbor's dog in the background. They bark at each other and they tip off my own dogs, and it's just a irritating little thing back and forth. Let me check this, because I know if it says move, fired, assault move, things like that, that they're spotted, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I've been playing so many different games if ops complete counts for spotted or not. Alright, so the ops complete does not take and make him spotted. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and let him take the spotting chance on the off chance that he does spot him. You know, it's 1 in 3 if you really think about it, because it's blocking terrain. So on a 1 or 2, he'll be spotted. And on the off chance that he does not spot him, I'm going to take and use it to move this enemy tank that's back here in the back that's just kind of been hanging there for a while. Move him up so he can actually get involved in the fray at some point, because he's been back there. I think he was one of the tanks that got flipped over or had the smoke put on him. I'm not sure on that one. I think that was one of the ones that the Russians got. But that way, at least the impulse is useful for the opponent. All right, let's take and roll. On a 1 or 2, he will be spotted. And I looked, this vehicle does not count as being one that has the thermals. There is, where's that little player aid? Oh, I wish my neighbor's dog would stop barking. They're driving me nuts. Yeah, in this game, the spotting mechanic, they have thermal imaging, some of them do, which gives you a -2 modifier, and it's a lot of the allied vehicles, and only a couple of the Soviets have it, but that one is not one that has thermal imaging, so he does not get the -2 modifier. If he did, effectively he could roll a 4 or under and still spot him. All right, let's see if he gets a 1 or 2 and gets the hit on. Nope, he got a 4. So no dice as far as that's concerned. He will be ops complete as well. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna have to reach across the camera here, guys. I don't have any of these markers over here near me. I'll take and mark him ops complete for the turn, and we'll use, like I said, this turn or this impulse to take and move this guy up. What does he have? He's got a track, it's a T72A. He's got a track value of 16. See, he's right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I might have him just go ahead and assault move while I'm at it. There's no reason not to if I can get him in a good line of sight to where he could maybe put a shot right up the butt of this armored vehicle here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets him right there, line of sight directly up the butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we're gonna go right there. All right, just not to waste the turn. This is me not drawing a card. This is just making use of the impulse for the enemy. And he's got a shot right at this armored vehicle that has a armor value of 1 on its behind, the M113. Basically, I don't expect a whole lot out of these guys anyway at this point, but he's going to get shot with an armor value of 1, and that is range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. And it's not blocked because of the hill, because he's right here on the edge of the hill. He's not on like the downside of it. So 11 makes it to where 9 or better. Was he there? Yeah, I think he was there. Yeah, because he was next to the wreck. All right, so 11, his value is 9 of under, penetration value is 13. He'll absolutely destroy him. All he's got to do is hit. I don't even think there's a need to roll on it because his penetration value is so high at this range. He's going to get -1 for the open vehicle, but he's getting +2 for the assault move. So +2 puts him at 11. He needs a 10 or under. No, excuse me, I'm going backwards on that. Let me pull out my chart so I don't get myself backwards. Yep. So where are we at? Okay, so adjusting for modifiers, he's going to need an 8 or under to take and hit this guy. And like I said, with his armor value so low, only being a 1, it would be his armor value plus a die with his penetration value plus a die. There'd be no need to even roll on the penetration, or for penetration, if he hits, because his penetration's 13. You can't even beat it with the dice. So this is really just to see if he hits. So 8 or under, see if he nails him. Yep, he got him exactly 8. Wow. Talk about lucky. All right, so he's marked. We'll take and remove him out and replace him with a wrecked marker. And my units are just going down like flies. What do I have left? I really got not much left. I can fire at some of these guys with barely anything. I might might end up calling this as just a Soviet win, because they just have so much left, and it's just going to be them slaughtering the rest of my guys. Let's see. What do we got? I got one guy over here that can take and fire at him. And let's see, small arms. What's his range? He's got that. Range of that. Yeah. Okay, so he's got an M60. The leader does, and 3 squads. So that would be a firepower of, that's 2, firepower of 6. And small arms can potentially shake a enemy. So firepower of 6 against him, it would be his armor, lowest armor, and his lowest armor is 5. Lowest armor plus terrain modifier, of which there's none, so it'd be 6 to 5. And if I beat him, it will shake him, or he'd have to roll on the damage table to potentially be shook. Yeah, we'll take the chance just to see if we can slow them down a little bit. Okay, let's take and roll it. 6 plus the white die and 5 plus the red die. Let's see what we get here. Oh, yeah, they got me. I got an 8 and they got 10, so no effect, bounced off. Mark these guys as fired, but it's no big deal because I don't think they have anything else they can take and hit me with. They pretty well got me at this point. It's just coming in to pin in the rest of my guys. With the this vehicle is abandoned, I've got one more here that did its little rescue mission that can take and offload one crew and another squad that can potentially be rallied. And then these guys, that's pretty much what I've got left at this point. All right, so let's take and draw a card for the enemy and just see what they're gonna do. Okay. Another execute counteractions. Let's see. They don't have any vehicles left that have not acted at this point. No vehicles, good order, and line of sight and range, no. They don't have a sniper in range either. Sniper's on the map, but he's not in range of anyone. Heroes on the map, yes. Can hear, no. Move hero towards victory condition unless already occupied. So he's gonna take and move. They do have a stack of hero units here. This is Mr. Yuri right there. And he is going to take and move with his squad towards my guys in hopes of causing some damage for him. So let's see what movement of 6, movement of 4, movement of 4. All right, so they can't move very far. Really, there's no reason for them not to move in the open because I don't have anything at range to hit them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll just have them move out in the open. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll go to there. That way they're just at least moving up towards my guys to see what they can possibly do. I need the moved marker. And this might well be the end of the turn because they've activated pretty much all their stuff. And I'm not moving any of these guys. I'm leaving them where they're at. So they're kind of tucked in the corner here. Let's see. Are they going to move up? They have a movement range of... They would get the leader bonus, so they have a movement range of 6. That will double time bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to have these guys move to the far side of the hill. That way they can't take any fire. None of my guys can see them as it is this way, but they can move up the hill and try to move into these woods to get into a close assault range with them. And yeah, we're going to call the turn there because all they've got left is sniper, and that's it. Yeah, then they'll just be rallying and bringing in their guys. Yep, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so that's it for turn 3. I will pop back up with turn 4 here soon when the remaining tanks that they have are going to take and pull in around this way to try to cut off the backside of my guys. And we're going to see if this little group of infantry of mine can do any close assaults, possibly on the enemy tanks. We'll have to see what happens there because there's still 2 enemy tanks up there on that part of the map. So they still have 3 tanks to come in and pin me in with, and that anti-air vehicle that can fire 3 times with an HE value of 4. So that thing can do some sick damage to infantry. I'll just chew them up if it gets an actual line of sight and gets them spotted. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you in the next video.